Hey, here at the Jimmy Dore Show, we're doing a live show June 5th, Wednesday, June 5th in Hermosa Beach. That's the first time we've ever been to Hermosa Beach. We'll see you there. May 3rd in Burbank, June 5th in Hermosa Beach. Guess what? There's a strike in Chicago. It's the Symphony Orchestra. The musicians, they're striking. That's how bad. Oh, look, that's how bad things are. That musicians at the symphony are right now striking, and they're garnering support from both artists and members of Congress. The musicians have been carrying picket signs instead of instruments since last Monday, as negotiations between the Chicago Federation of Musicians, the CFM, and the CSO Association appear to be at an impasse. I guess the CSO would be the Chicago Symphony Organization?
Yes.
Yes. Fellow performers from theater and television joined the picket lines Tuesday. Another week of concerts has been canceled as the strike continues. Wow, look at that. The musicians say they've made too many contract concessions over the last decade and now have wages and pensions that languish behind comparable world-class orchestras. Now they're seeking a significant wage increase over a number of years, bringing annual base salaries to nearly $164,000, which is in line with what musicians in Boston and New York are paid. They also want management to increase pensions. Well, real estate is more expensive in New York. I'll tell you, than in Chicago. Chicago's half as expensive as New York, probably a third. Yeah. So there's that. But anyway, I don't want to undercut their thing. But the whole point of this is these people are making over $100,000 a year, and they need a union to make sure they get their fair share of the profits. Airline pilots, basketball players, football players, baseball players, they all have unions. The richest people, some of the richest people in the country have unions. And so look at that. So they need a union. And if they didn't, who knows what would be happening? Look what's happening right now in universities across the country. Look what's happening in universities across the country. There's no union of professors. Ron, is there a union of professors?
Not to my knowledge.
No, there isn't. And what's happening to the profession?
Well, adjuncts are getting paid less and less, and some, for instances, they're using temp services, and a lot of adjuncts can't afford to make a living. Somebody actually emailed the show a documentary they want us to check out about how there's adjuncts that are homeless. That's a common thing. And
yeah, that's like a slave wage now to be a professor at a university.
As a comedian, I made more money to perform at one college than I made teaching at one for an entire semester. That's not an embellishment.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
As the strike continues, the musicians plan to give a series of free concerts. That's good. That's smart.
That is cool.
The first will be a small chamber concert March 22nd at Pianoforte Studios, 1335 South Michigan Avenue, and the second will be a full orchestra performance March 25th at the Chicago's Teachers Union's main hall. Isn't that nice? Look at that. Unions coming together to help each other. Unions helping unions. It sounds like a Ponzi scheme, but it's not. All right. Well, good luck to you.
And something to point out, too, is like they are a world-class orchestra, so this is kind of like the top line. So a lot of players, I'm not fluent in like the anatomy of, the orchestra industry per se, but, I went to Indiana University, so I had some friends that were music students. The way a lot of that works is you start out in smaller market orchestras and you're just taking gigs where you can get them and you're kind of stringing together a living. And then you eventually wind up in a gig like this. This is kind of like where you end up. So if they're screwing over players at this level, this is one, for instance, where trickle down actually applies. They're going to screw over players at every single level to the point where they'll be just eliminating the ability to even start making a living.
Right. And then you'll have orchestra people having to, drive Ubers.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, when I'm done with the concert, I'll drive you home. I got in a Lyft the other day. I don't take Uber. I use Lyft. I got in a Lyft the other day. The guy was driving a Tesla. This is the second time that's happened. So I asked the guy, I said, is this one of those more inexpensive Teslas, the $35,000 ones? He says, no, this is 2 years old. And it cost $180,000. No, it cost him $80,000. And I was just like, how can you afford to drive it? I mean, I guess maybe that's why he has to drive a Tesla to pay for it. I don't know. But I don't know how you do that. That's a lot. That's an expensive car.
Yeah, it's a really expensive car.
Anyway, there you go. Go teachers. Go musicians union. I'm from Chicago. I've never been to the symphony there. Maybe we should go next time. We're going to be in Chicago July 13th. So
Well, hey, if this is still going on, maybe they'll have some free shows around that time. But hopefully it'll be resolved by then.
Hopefully it'll be resolved. You know, the last strike in Chicago we covered was there was a hotel workers, right, maids, and they settled those strikes. So it seems like I wonder, it'll be interesting to see how long the strike goes on, because it seems like strikes are being settled quickly. Certainly the teacher strikes were settled quickly. So, and you know what happened in Mexico, right? So they had that huge strike of auto parts workers, and then it started to catch on to other places. They started to strike at a Coca-Cola bottling place, and they started at a dairy place. Strikes are catchy, which is why they try to kill them right away. So we'll see what happens with this. We're announcing our live dates for 2019. We're going to Ventura, California, Hermosa Beach, California, Tempe, Arizona, Austin, Texas, Chicago, Portland, all over the country. Go to jimmydorecomedy.com for a link for tickets. If you'd like to support the show, please join our Patreon or premium membership. We give you hours of bonus content every week. And remember, if you think you're subscribed, you might not be. Check to make sure you're subscribed and click the bell so you get a notice every time we drop a clip. Thanks for your support.